Well, hello there, Sagittarius. It is time for your full moon reading. We are having our full moon Friday, January 6th in the sign of Cancer. That is today. I am, cutting it really close. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, hi, hello, my name is Melissa, and I do zodiac tarot readings based on the new moon and the full moon. What we're looking at is our full moon, the peak of the cycle, things that you planted at the beginning of the cycle starting to be revealed by the light of the moon. That's what I'm going to say. I also do witchy unboxing videos and current event tarot readings and Metaphysical Monday videos where we talk about, magical shit. So, I am here to hopefully spark something that will help you in your journey. All right. We're looking at the full moon for Sagittarius, please. All right. I'm using a spread that I created myself yesterday, specifically for these readings to give them kind of a 10-minute tarot vibe. All right. We are looking at leading up to the full moon. What kind of past, present, future-ish. Leading up to the full moon, we have a card for the full moon. What is she revealing? And after the full moon, leading up to the next cycle. All right, leading up to the full moon, we have the Hanged One, and we have the Three of Pentacles. So I feel like this is the last couple of weeks or so has been about building something with a different goal in mind or a different process in mind. This is working together energy with this Three of Pentacles. And the Hanged One is, a new perspective, seeing things in a different light, learning something about yourself, taking time to reflect, that kind of stuff. I feel like there's a working, like a project going on that is being planned in a way that maybe you don't usually plan things. I'll show you the cards because they're gorgeous. This is a super lunaris tarot, but this is the Hanged One and the Three of Pentacles. So what are we working on here? And even notice that he's standing on a ladder on 1, 2, 3rd rung. So the 3 is there. But these are, they're planning together. They're looking at the architecture and they're, what can we do with this? How can we, create this structure, right? Because the 4 is going to be the structure. But this is getting to that point. But I feel like this is with a different, plan or a different thought process or a different method for, creating or planning whatever this is. So let us take a look at your moon card. Our full moon card is the Lovers. So we have another major arcana card. Isn't that pretty? He's so pretty. Light and dark. We have the Snakes. This is not the typical Lovers card. This is not, like sexual or sensual in nature. This is more about like give and take, light and dark balance, finding like a opposites attract kind of thing, which is something weird to say for somebody who practices and talks about law of attraction. In some cases, opposites do attract. And here's why I think that, and this is kind of a little bit of a tangent, but in order to know what you want, and I'm going to go a little Abraham Hicks on you, Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks. In order to know what you want, you need to know what you don't want. So there is that aspect of opposites attracting, because you're not going to attract what you want until you know what its opposite is. So I hope that makes sense. So this being in the moon position, I feel like this is a moon about you understanding that dual nature of, the universe or, just how things work in general. This is about you understanding that aspect of nature, that you can't just say, I want this, I want this, I want this. Yes, you know that you want it, but if you don't know why you want it because you haven't seen the opposite of it, it's going to make it a little harder for you to attract. So perhaps that is what is kind of coloring or shading this kind of hanged man, hanged one energy of, kind of trying to see things from a different angle. Like I literally am getting the image of like when a dog hears a word it doesn't recognize and it just kind of does that like head tilt. Like I'm kind of getting that from it, where you're like trying to picture it in a different way. Like, how can we make this usable in a different form or something like that. But yeah, so the Lovers card, we're getting that dark and light aspect. There's like a dual purpose. Okay, that's what's coming through. There's a dual purpose here, and the Lovers are two entities coming together. We have that intertwining kind of energy, but we also have like this snake being kind of a temptation almost, which is there's the Lovers card and the Devil card look very similar in a traditional like Rider-Waite-Smith deck, where you have the two bodies, the two usually nude, representing a male and a female aspect in both of the cards, but in the Devil card it's changed to the devil. There's that aspect as well, getting almost like a temptation kind of energy from this Lovers card, especially with that snake. But the snake has many other representations, obviously Kundalini energy and the rising and all of that stuff is also, but I don't feel like that's necessarily related to the other two cards. So when I'm really feeling this moon is about showing you where dual purpose comes in for you. This is more of a dual purpose energy for me. This is not anything to do with like a relationship or a lover specifically. I feel like this has more to do with something else in your life. So let's look at the next couple of cards for leading away from the full moon and into the next cycle. The 10 of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, there's definitely something that you don't want to be continuing to do the same way. You don't want to keep doing the same thing the same way. This 10 of Swords is done. This is done energy. This is moving on to the next, and let's see what grows. This card right here is, there's no action here. This is I've already put in the work, and now let's see what fruit I bear. Now let's see what happens. Let's see how far this can go if I just trust that it's going to go. So yeah, I definitely feel like there's like a kind of a change of guard here, where you're looking for a different way. You're just, the old way isn't working. Whatever the situation is relating to for you, the way it was going is just not working. And it's time to look at a new way of doing things, perhaps in a less active way, taking a less active role in this. Like maybe you're the one that's trying to be dual purpose. Are you splitting yourself? Because look at with the black and white on the opposite sides here, we also have dark skin and light skin here. So we have dark and light. But look how it's split down the middle. Are you splitting yourself in a way that is not helpful to the goal that you're trying to achieve? So that's kind of where I'm at with that. As far as leading up to the next cycle, I feel like there's this next phase, the next couple of weeks, will look more like shedding for you. There is definitely some release in this, but this is the end of the cycle as well. So there's definitely some releasing going on, and I feel like it has to do with the Lovers card, this moon revealing a split energy or a dualistic way of doing things. So I feel like maybe you were stuck in a way of doing something that you are trying to come out of and see other ways to do it, which kind of leaves you in a split situation. But you're done with that. So I do see some releasing. There's no activity. I don't think doing anything at this point will help. I would say wait for the next cycle and kind of like refresh or revise what intentions that you put out the last couple of weeks at the new moon, which I believe is like the 21st of January. It's kind of like to take a less active stance or a less active role in what you're trying to accomplish here, and maybe even revise your intention for the next cycle. But I do want to point out these two cards together here. If this is a very obvious blaring situation for you, where you're like, very simplest terms, lovers, the name of the card is a keyword, and gone as the keyword for this one, there could be very obvious breakup energy, but I try to be a little more nuanced than that. That's very cliche to say, but I do want to point out that we do have that up here, and we also have, you know, seeing things from a new perspective. So if there is a love aspect that you were like, yeah, that makes sense, but not for my career or anything I'm doing that way, but it does make sense in my relationship, then maybe that is for you. There's also a 3. So if that makes sense, which that 3 happens to also look like a 111. So if that does make sense, we do have the 3 here, a 3 just in general. It's not a bad 3, but we do have 3, the lovers and the 10 of swords. So take that as you will if that applies. So that's what I have for you for this full moon. I'll see you in a couple of weeks for the new moon reading. Always remember that the magic you seek is within you. Have a blessed day.